Alright, this video will show you one word that you can use to manifest what you want. This is a word that you may not think of, but it's something that's had profound change in my own life and the people that I've shared this word with. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be speaking about that word that I'm talking about, and it's something that has to do with the idea of expectation. Now, expectation is not the word, but what this word does is it allows us to get rid of the insistence we have, and normally when we have insistence, we also have resistance, because if whatever we have doesn't happen, we automatically start to feel things start to kind of tighten up within us. But the magic word, the one word that we can use, and it's a word that I found from the book called Supernatural, which is Dr. Joe Dispenzas' new book, who talks a lot about how the brain works, the neuroscience of it. There's this word that he uses that I've been using, that I've been sharing with other people, and it's had profound results, and I'm sure you wonder what that word is. That word is the word whatever. Whatever. Now, the reason this is powerful, and I look back to other experiences I've had, and there are times when I want something so bad, but the moment I am totally neutral about it, and I'm like, whatever, if it happens, that's great, that's when things really begin to happen. Now, this is something that I tell a lot of people to start to get into the mode of doing, because when we have an insistence that something has to happen, what we're actually doing is limiting the expression of how things could happen, because we're saying that our ego knows exactly how it should happen, when the ego may only know the very edge of the possibility of what could really happen. You know, our imagination, our brain can only imagine certain things happening based on prior experiences. It's just how our brain is wired. But the moment we decide to surrender to a larger aspect of ourself, we could call this our higher self, we could call this the universe, but when we surrender, that's when we allow something absolutely amazing to happen. Now, this is also something that I realized, now this is a totally different topic, but it's something that I also is the solution to another problem that people have when it comes to the idea of astral projection. Now, this is something also I know is a little more esoteric, but I made astral projection videos when I first started my channel like a year and a half ago. And in one of the videos, the most common question people would ask is, they're like, I really want it to happen, but I can't find myself breaking through. What is the secret? What should I do? And it was the same to every single person that I answered to that. The idea is you have to have like this attitude, like, you know, I intend for it to happen. It would be cool if it happened, but I'm going to be kind of loose about it. I'm going to have kind of this curiosity around it, but I'm not going to like resist it. It does not have to happen. So we kind of have to trick ourselves sometimes into knowing that it's whatever. Like if it happens, that's great. And when we have that attitude, we neutralize the resistance and we allow things to happen in an amazing way. Now let's also talk about the idea of visualization. Let's talk about all these processes that we might use to attract what we want. And let's talk about expectation. Now normally, we assume that with visualization, the idea is that we visualize, because when we visualize, we then get that result that we want into our life. And that can be a side effect. But what I would say is to switch all of this around, to understand this all from a different point of view, is instead of visualizing for the sake of the outcome, visualize, because when you visualize, it increases the emotion of what you feel. You visualize for the sake of visualizing. You visualize for the sake of the feeling. And when you begin to do that, you begin to do it for its own purpose. We're not doing something to get here, because many times when we're doing something to get here, well, we are emphasizing that we are not already here, that we don't already have what we want. So the key to this is kind of like a judo mind Jedi trick that we're using on ourselves. But what we do is we do things for the feeling. We do things for the sake of doing it. And as we do that, we're much more likely to actually get what we want. So how can you apply the idea or the word of whatever in your life? Well, look at the desires you have, look at the visualizations you have, the outcomes that you have, know that you want it, set a powerful intention. When you think about the idea of the future, feel it from increased emotion, and then take action, of course, but feel it from increased emotion, and then have an attitude of, let it go. It is okay if it happens. It's okay if it doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen the way I think it should happen, it may happen in even a better way, but I cannot insist on the outcome, because when I insist, I end up at some level bringing in resistance. So as we start to shift our perspective, as we start to use this more neutral viewpoint, and we start to have more of a curiosity, and also something else I want to talk about is have fun with the process. This doesn't have to be so serious, you know. I'm attracting a relationship, and we go out and we're like, is that the person? Is that the person? We're all looking around, and many times that will cause the resistance because we're looking for it everywhere. And even though what we're looking for will grow, the idea is what we're looking for and we're feeling the resistance with it, we're not actually going to attract to the relationship we want or the circumstances we want. So have kind of a playful attitude. Be like, you know, it'd be cool if I was in a relationship. It'd be cool if I met the right person, or, you know, I was able to really meet a lot of people. It would be cool. But whatever, I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to go be in self-amusement. I'm going to go do my own thing. And as you do that, you will naturally attract what you want. You have more of a whatever type attitude, a more neutral type attitude, because your cup is already whole and complete. You do not need the external, you know, validation of, oh, now I've made X amount of money per year. I can finally validate myself. You're like, no, I have a strong intention. I am visualizing for the sake of visualizing. I am doing my passion for the sake of doing my passion. I'm excited about what I'm doing for the sake of being excited about what I'm doing. And as you have that kind of attitude, it's whatever, because I'm already good. I'm already good. You see what I mean? Like, this is a new perspective. But have whatever type attitude. Have a curiosity about it. Have fun with it. You know, it's the same thing with astral projection. You know, people are like, I can't astral project. I've been focused on it for this long and things aren't happening for me. Well, loosen it up a little bit, bro. Make it so that it's like, you know, it'd be cool if it happened. It would be, you know, I'm curious as to what happened. That's the attitude I had. I wasn't, when I first went into it, the first time I ever astral projected, I had no real insistence that it had to happen. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to see what happens. Kind of whatever if it does or not. But, you know, I didn't even know if I totally 100% like had this undeniable proof that it existed. But I had this playful attitude, and this playful attitude, this whatever type mindset. Whatever, it's cool. If it happens, that's great. But the idea is to bring that neutral viewpoint in, bring that non-attachment to the expectation in, and watch how things happen. Remember, your ego can only imagine to a certain edge of the possibility of what could happen. What is the ceiling to the ego may be the floor for the higher mind. So don't insist that certain outcomes have to happen. Trust the process, whatever. If it happens, that's great. If it doesn't happen, that's also great. But understand that as you have that attitude, things will happen in a much better way because your cup's already full. You already feel whole and complete. And everything else that happens is just a reflection of who you are being. You always get a reflection of who you are being. If you are being somebody that's not attached to the outcome, things happen much quicker. If you're being somebody that needs things to happen in a certain way, you haven't really changed. And because you haven't changed, because you're dependent upon the outcome, the external won't change. It's like a mirror. The external will only change in response to whether we change on the inside. So become more neutral. Understand you can use the power of whatever towards anything in your life, that as you have a powerful intention, you take action. You do it for the sake of taking action. You do it for the sake of its own purpose. You'll find that amazing things begin to happen. You know, another part of this as well is our subconscious mind runs most of our life experience when it comes to all of this. So what I've done is I've created an MP3 hypnosis that you can find in the description box. Feel free to click on that link and download your free meditation. It's a meditation hypnosis that you listen to before you go to bed. It's specifically designed to increase the emotion, increase the feelings and the thoughts that you have in the direction of what you want, so that you're really able to create what you want in your life. So that's something in the description box. You can click it right now. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace, much love, namaste.